Sigourney Keota team, they are ranked #1 and look like it tonight. Little pregame warm-ups. First quarter, and the Cobras would score on the opening drive on 2nd and 11. That's number 10, Pat Flynn, to Nick Baker. And Coach Kevin Miller was not a happy man. Then on 4th and 19, the Spartan defense rises. Boyce and Croy, the 5'10 senior, with some leaps. That's a great play. Still in the first, Sigourney scored on Derek Kreiner's plunge over the line. That made it 14-0. And Sigourney won this contest by the final of 34-7 over Solon. But unfortunately, Mount Vernon and Sigourney, they don't play each other. They're not in the same district, so we might have to wait till the playoffs. So, Andy, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Jim, we will look forward to that. That'll be a great action between those two, if they do get together in the Dome.
I hope they do. It'd be good.
More to Jason Rogers was there, and he joins us live. Jason.
That's right, John. The single wing, Sigourney Keota, the master of the misdirection. They usually make you dizzy by spinning you to death. Well, this year they've added a new dimension, a passing attack, which even makes them tougher to defend if you can find the ball. Davis County got a taste of that tonight. Pat Flynn rolls and hits Nick Baker for the first down. Very next play, no misdirection here. Dan Hammis just straight ahead for the TD. 14-0 Savage Cobras. More Sigourney Keota aerials. Baker with the out and up. Flynn threads it in there. And then it's the spinner back, giving it off to Hammis, rumbling and stumbling. 11-yard TD run. He would score the Cobras' first 3 TDs, 21-0 after 1 quarter. Then some misdirection as the Cobras run the flea flicker. Great catch by Alex Hammis. 2 plays later, more misdirection. Follow the football if you can. 3 guys touch it on the sweep to Nick Baker, the touchdown maker. 19 yards to pay dirt. Sigourney Keota blows out Davis County 49-6. John, Sigourney Keota is hammering on all cylinders. The passing attack makes them even tougher to defend. Not only do you have to defend that great run, you got to defend the aerial too.
The D word might come up for them too, Jason. Thank you very much. More highlights if you go up there tomorrow. Hey, we have a final now on that Western Dubuque-Makokata score. Western Dubuque defeated Makokata 20-19 in overtime. Undefeated Sigourney Keota was looking to enhance its chances for a playoff berth when it played Eddyville tonight. Now, earlier this summer, we went fishing with longtime Sigourney Keota coach Bob Howard. He says he rarely fishes during the season, but even when he fishes in the off-season, football is rarely far from his mind.
Like in the boat at Red Rock, I carry a clipboard, and sometimes you think of stuff while you're floating around sometimes too. So, yeah, it's definitely, I suppose, not the only stress breaker I've got, but sometimes it's more stress fishing than it's coaching when you lose.
That's Bob Howard fishing. Here he is coaching, going for his 199th career victory tonight as Sigourney Keota hosted Eddyville. First quarter, Derek Greiner gets the call. He's off the left side. It's 7-0 Savage Cobras. Eddyville in the shotgun too. They muff the snap. And Sigourney's all over it. Very next play, the quarterback, Pat Flynn, finds Nick Baker. It's 14-0 Sigourney Keota. Yes. They're not done. The wing back around. Watch number 40, Dan Hammis. He gets the call. He gets the score. Sigourney Keota rolls 57-6. Be out there, huh, Scott?
Yeah, it was, John. You know, Sigourney Keota came in ranked #1 in the state, and they played like it tonight against Highland Lone Tree, winning the district championship. Let's check out the highlights if we can. The Savage Cobras running the spinnerback offense to perfection. Nick Baker with a huge gain to set up his own touchdown a couple of plays later, and Sigourney Keota took a 14-0 lead when Derek Greiner goes 10 yards for the game's second touchdown. And there's a good way to stay warm, your sleeping bag. It was all Savage Cobras. The big junior, Dan Hammis, went to work weaving in and out of traffic, 17 yards for 6 more. And Coach Bob Howard, who won his 200th game last week, had to like what he saw. Sigourney Keota jumped out to a 28-0 second quarter lead. Hammis again runs over a guy for 6 more. Highland Lone Tree with just 1 first down in the first half. Check out the hit by Tom Fowler. Wow. 28-0 at the half. And the Cobras stung the Raiders again on the opening kickoff of the second half. Nick Baker breaks it to the outside, and is he going to get there? No, but a 70-yard return, and Sigourney Keota scored moments later. Hammis, his 3rd TD on the night. He had 4 in the game, and the Cobras win it easily, 47-0. 47-0, you got the shutout tonight.
Yes, we did. Strong line play.
Did you think it was going to be like this?
Yes, we did. Had no doubt.
How far can this team go in the playoffs?
As far as we can take ourselves, as long as we focus, we're going against ourselves, nobody else.
Spinner back offense in high gear. You had 4 touchdowns, over 190 yards rushing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You can't do it without the line, though. They're a huge part of the offense. They've been doing an awesome job all year long. They did it again tonight. It's nothing new. They'd come out every game like that.
Did it look like tonight they couldn't stop you? Nothing they could do?
Oh, they're definitely a good team. They hit hard. Our line just played superb tonight.
Now, you don't have long to prepare. Wednesday you start the playoffs. Is that enough time?
Oh, yeah. We're focused. We're ready to go. We know what our goal is, and we know what we got to do.
Is that a state title?
That's our goal.
It's a pretty good goal to have.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, good luck, guys.
Thank
Great
you.
game tonight. Keep it up, huh?
Thanks.
You know, John, I think they're good enough to win a state title. The defense was tremendous tonight, and that spinner back offense is tough to stop. It's tough to figure out who's got the ball, too. Back to you.
I know what you mean, Scott. I think we're going to see him deep into November. Hey, we
team to highlight on tonight's show, Bob Howard's unbeaten Sigourney Keota Savage Cobras. Tonight, Sigourney Keota was at Highland Lone Tree in a battle for the 2A District 8 title. Jimmy Licko was in Riverside for this big game, and he joins us now from the Cedar Rapids studio with the highlights. Could you keep up with the single wing attack tonight, my man?
Hey, first of all, why do you call me? You got to call me Jimmy Licko. But second of all, I had no idea where the ball was all night, Rick. It was tough to tell. You know, they came into the game undefeated and looking for the district title, but they also had to face a good Highland Lone Tree team who was also 7-1. So a district title was on the line. Let's go ahead and take a look at those highlights. And Rick, look out. If you're not careful, that Cobra will bite. Highland Lone Tree trying to get something going early on, but Sigourney Keota's defense was stellar all night long. 3 and out in the first set, and then the single wing took over. Find the ball if you can. There it is, number 4, Nick Baker, about 25 yards right there. Coach Howard, 201st win, looking for that one tonight. Says just keep it rolling, guys, and they did. This time it's going to go right up the middle. He's in for 6. That's that's Baker again, 7-0, and all of Keokuk County, I think, was at this game, Rick. Sigourney Keota on offense again. Can't find the ball. It usually means bad things for the defense. That's Dan Hammis, 25 yards. And on the very next play, they're going to punch it right up the middle. This time it's Derek Greiner, 14-0. Sigourney Keota at that point. I had a hard time finding the ball all night, Rick, so you know what? I'm going to move up top, and here it is, the spin back in effect right there. And look at this defender. He runs right into him. That's how hard it is to find the ball. He's going to pick up 20 yards on this play, and that play would set up Hammis again. He's going to fumble the ball but pick it right back up and run in for 10 yards. 28-0 at the half. 47-0 is your final score in this one. Savage Cobras roll on to win. And Rick, in Class 2A, if you're looking for someone to beat, it looks like the Savage Cobras. If you can't find the ball, it's going to be some hard times for whoever they have to play in the playoffs.
Scout team offense, simulate that offense. I don't think they do they?
Hey, you know, it's difficult. I played against them in high school down in Mediapolis, and we tried to get a scout team together. There's no way you can simulate that offense and get ready for them. And then once you get in a game situation, obviously they run it to perfection. They've been running it since junior high, so they got definitely Coach Howard's team is one to watch for, along with Mount Vernon and Dyke New Hartford in 2A. I think it'll come down to one of those 3 teams for the state championship.
Well, Jim, I'm glad you got practice shooting it because we're going to need you in the dome when they get there, definitely, to follow that team.
Need the practice.
Also, I mean, Jim, when I say Jimmy, I mean it affectionately,
oh,
my
okay.
man.
All right. All right.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jim. You know, other 2A pairings, Garner Hayfield made the field, having to win their game tonight over Hudson, beating Hudson 53-0, traveling to face always powerful Emmitsburg. And Iowa Falls lost 4 games during the regular season, but still made the playoffs. They will meet unbeaten Dyke, New Hartford at Dyke. That should be a good ball game. Also on the board, Wellman Mid-Prairie will travel to face Highland Lone Tree. Sigourney Keota with a single wing attack will go face Sheraton. Now, Sigourney Keota undefeated on the season. Also, Williamsburg and Mount Vernon, that's a battle of unbeatens, and that will take place at Mount Vernon. Dyersville-Beckman in a rematch of a game played earlier this year will travel to face Maquoketa Valley. Mag Valley beat Beckman in that 2A District 5 showdown earlier this year.
Sigourney Keota taking on Highland Lone Tree. First quarter action, Lone Tree from its own 5-yard line. Josh Zaruba takes it 20 yards for the first down, but he gets drilled and is knocked out of the game. Unfortunately, Savage Cobras on 3rd and 7 now. Nick Baker takes it 29 yards to the zone. Savage Cobras up 6-0. They go on to win. Final score 34-6.
28. Now let's check the pairings of the area teams. All these games in the Dome Friday, Saturday, and Monday.
We had a great showdown from the Dome tonight. Mount Vernon versus Sigourney Keota. The winner would meet either Dike New Hartford or Emmitsburg for the 2A championship. First quarter, Sigourney Keota's Nick Baker takes the pigskin, sweeps left, finds the open field, and he is going to score. That made it 7-0. Cobras. Mustangs answer in the second. Jacob Craig gets into the zone, but Sigourney Keota won 28-15.
They're a heck of a ball club. Tonight was the 4 best teams in the state that played. They came out ready to play, but so did we. We knew what we had to do. We know what our goal is, and we came ready to go. It's great. We're finally getting to our goal. We haven't achieved it yet, but we're coming real close.
Football playoffs. Battle of the Unbeatens, Mount Vernon against Sigourney Keota in the 2A semifinals. Jason Rogers has the story.
Well, Scott, 2 big plays by Sigourney Keota very early in this ball game made the difference tonight. Let me show you what I mean as we go to the highlights. Sigourney Keota's 3rd play from scrimmage. Nick Baker finds some daylight, and nobody's going to catch him. 77 yards to pay dirt, 7-0 Savage Cobras, and we're only 3 minutes in. Then just 2 minutes later, it's the spinner back, Derek Greiner, keeping it, and he's going to go the distance. It's 14-0, and everyone was thinking blowout. But after that, it was an even ball game. The Mustangs get on the board right here. 4th and goal from the 4. Jacob Craig cuts the lead to 6 after the 2-point conversion. But just before the half, Dan Hammis hammers in, and Mount Vernon just could not get over the hump, so the fast start propels Sigourney Keota to a 28-15 win. Earlier,
Hubbard Radcliffe, Dike New Hartford followed suit with a nail-biter tonight at the Dome, where they pulled out at the end as well. To the highlights we go. Wolverines put together a nice drive in the second quarter, led by this Chris Grooms to Josh Johnson 20-yard hookup. Next play, Jared Baker sweeps right, coming right at you, turns it up inside the E-Hawk 5. Grooms from there does it himself. Wolverines led 7-zip at halftime. Emmitsburg tied it up in the 3rd quarter. On this J.D. Nag, he hauls in this pass from Tom Osborne, and the Wolverines can't seem to bring him down until he's in the end zone when it's too late. That made it a 7-7 ball game. Dike New Hartford then driving for the winning score late in the 4th. Grooms to Michael Schmitz. Schmitz turns it upfield into E-Hawk territory. Then it's going to be Grooms to Josh Johnson to get the Wolverines inside the Emmitsburg 20. Coach said he was just looking for a field goal at this point, but Jared Baker carries it in from 16 yards out. Dike New Hartford comes up with the 14-7 win. They'll play next Saturday in the 2A state final, and they will play Sigourney Keota. The Savage Cobras held off a late Mount Vernon charge in tonight's other 2A semifinal. Yes, the single-wing offense carried Sigourney Keota to the 28-15 victory. It will be the Wolverines and the Savage Cobras next Saturday at the Dome for the 2A state championship. Kickoff set for 10:38.
But with our personnel, I'd be crazy to line up with 2 tight ends and 3 backs. So really it fits our personnel.
We're the only really passing team in this area, and most teams haven't played against a team like us, so I think it gives us a big advantage. In the first 2 playoff games, we've had over 500 yards, so if we can get the run and pass balance out, I think we can get it done.
Dike New Hartford will play fellow unbeaten Sigourney Keota in the early game Saturday, 10:30 at the Dome.
Coming up today, Sigourney Keota takes on Dike New Hartford for the 2A title, and wrapping things up at 1:30, it's Western Dubuque versus Harlan for the 3A championship.
At the Dome today concluded the high school football season. Here's Jim Licko on the Class 2A and 3A championships.
The Class 2A championship featured a true number 1 versus number 2 title game, and the Savage Cobras set the tone right away. The Wolverines were driving and faced with a 3rd and long on their first drive when Derek Greiner provided some fireworks with this hit to help stop the drive. Then the single wing took over, eating up yards and time as Nick Baker found running room around the end. The drive would end up with a very uncommon Cobra touchdown pass from Pat Flynn to Alex Hammis. And on their very next drive, they found pay dirt again, this time on a 20-yard run from Baker. Dyke New Hartford would cut the lead in half just before halftime with this pass from Chris Grooms to Josh Johnson. But in the second half, Sigourney's running game was just too much to handle, and their defense was able to keep a potent Wolverine passing game in check as the Savage Cobras win their second Class 2A title in only 5 years by a score of 27-14.
Their defense played excellent. We didn't really know what to expect from them, but they stepped it up and played a real good game.
This is what we've been putting all this hard time and dedication and discipline into all season, and it's been our dream forever, and it finally came true.
In this first place, our Mark Woodley has all the action and post-game results from Class 2A and 3A. Mark, who do we have playing today?
Well, we're going to start off with Class 2A, Jim. Dyke New Hartford taking on Sigourney Keota. Both these teams 12-0, both number 1, depending on what poll you look at. I don't think this game needs much more build-up than that. Let's just go right to the highlights. And that's what everybody's gunning for. That's the state championship trophy. In the first quarter, Sigourney Keota on the move. Patrick Flynn finds Alex Hammis in the zone. Savage Cobras go up 6-0. We're going to move on to the second quarter. Sigourney Keota up 13 when Dyke New Hartford quarterback Chris Grooms is going to hit Josh Johnson in the end zone. That cuts the Savage Cobras lead to 6. But the Cobras running game in this ball game just too tough. Right here, Dan Hammis is going to go around the left side, finds a lot of running room. He is headed 40 yards to the house. Savage Cobras of Sigourney Keota are your Class 2A champions. They win this ball game 27-14. Second comes to Josh.
Dome again, 2A championship game. Sigourney Keota, Dyke New Hartford. The Savage Cobras found the end zone first on the Patrick Flynn to Alex Hammis touchdown pass. And Sigourney Keota jumped out to a 13-0 lead. Nick Baker gets outside, and he's got some wheels. 24 yards for 6 more, and the dome was about ready to explode. Dyke New Hartford answered. Chris Grooms with the touchdown toss to Josh Johnson. Savage Cobras dominated this game up front with their spinner back offense. Baker gets outside again. Going to get there? No. Just missed, but it set up 6 more. And Sigourney Keota finishes the season undefeated, beating Dyke New Hartford 27-14 for the 2A championship. And after the game, they draped Clint Cavan's number 60 jersey over the trophy. Clint was killed in a car accident earlier this year.
We miss Clint so much. I mean, he's upstairs looking down on us, and I know he's going to be so happy of us. And we played our hearts out for him. And we got down. If anybody was getting down or tired, we just thought of Clint.
High school playoffs in Northern Iowa had a night game. KGN's Mark Woodley now joins us live with the complete rundown. Mark, take it away.
Jim, I have to tell you, I'm on a complete football overload here. 3 games today, 2 high school football championships, and like you said, you and I in action tonight, and we are going to... Now we're going to move to high school. 2A championship game, Dyke New Hartford taking on Sigourney Keota. This is Sigourney Keota getting on the board first. Patrick Flynn finds Alex Hammis in the zone. The Savage Cobras go up 6-0 in this contest. We're going to move on to the second quarter. Sigourney Keota up 13 when Chris Grooms from Dyke New Hartford hits Josh Johnson in the end zone to cut the lead to 6. But the Cobras running game just too much in this one. Dan Hammis coming up here is going to find a lot of running room right there around the left side. He is going 40 yards to the house. Savage Cobras of Sigourney Keota are your Class 2A champions. They win this one 27-14. We're going to move.
Stop. These guys came out and played hard once again today, like they've done all season. And we saw what happened, and we got our dream fulfilled today.
But I'm proud of kids that have set goals and stick their neck out and take a risk, because in this day and age in our country, I think we need that a little bit. And we've got a bunch of kids on our team that have been willing to do that, and they've hung together and come out with a state championship. And I guess that's what I'm proudest of, is the attitude of the kids and the discipline and commitment they show.
That wraps it up here at the Dome. Here's your scoreboard.
we've kept getting better, and right now I think we're a pretty decent football team, and it feels like unbelievable. Somebody pinched me, but I think we're the state champs.
You know, back in January when we started lifting weights and working out and everything, we just told each other, you know, we got the chance to be state champs, and that's what helped us get up and work with each other, all that stuff, and we finally did it.
What a way to finish this season. You know, I was telling the kids last night, I went home and told my wife, I said, I hate to walk off the practice field tonight because this is the last time with this football team in practice, because every day they just came out and worked, and they've made themselves better. And as coaches, I told them we win the playoffs, we're along for the ride, and what a ride they've given us.
It's awesome. I can't describe it. It just brings tears to my eyes, man. This is the last time I'll ever strap it up. It's over. But there's no better way to go out than the way we did.